Hey there, my name is Chris Acton with Acting Creative, and this is a Handwoven Experience, episode 102. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about crossing the layers. So we are still hanging out with some double weave, and I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So from the top, double weave is the process of weaving two layers of fabric at the same time, and you can do all kinds of things with this technique. You can weave two separate layers, keeping them completely independent, or you could take those two layers and connect them on one side so that when it comes off the loom, you unfold it and it's twice the width. Or you can take those two layers and you can combine them on both sides, giving yourself a very cool tube when it's all said and done. But today, I'm going to talk about what happens when you actually take the bottom layer and make it the top layer and vice versa. When you make a little, see my little X? What happens if you cross your layers in double weave? Now, you may be thinking, Chris, I'm not exactly sure why you would want to do that. Well, I've got two very good instances when it's going to come in very handy to cross your layers. So the first reason or instance when you would cross your layers is for color. Now, with double weave, like I mentioned, you are doing two completely different fabrics, two different layers. In my circumstance here, I have the top layer is these big bands of purple and little tiny bands of orange, and the bottom layer is big bands of orange, little tiny stripes of purple. So there are two very different looking layers, right? Well, check this out. Look at my stripe right here when I exchanged positions, where the top became the bottom became the top. Look at how the color is so drastically different. And this is something that is really unique to double weave. And if you are a weaver who really likes to play with color, this is going to be really fun for you because of the way that you can mix and mingle the colors from the top and the bottom. So imagine if I'm weaving along here and I have kept the top on the top for this whole time. Well, suddenly I want the bottom to be on top. I am suddenly going to have purples and oranges be the highlight on the top versus what I've had going so far. Okay, so the other instance when you are going to want to kind of cross your layers in double weave is for construction. Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. This just stays between you and I. I really, really, really hate to sew. That just keep that here for us, huh? But because of that, this style of changing the layers in double weave is brilliant because it's going to give me some seams without ever having to plug in a sewing machine. And here's what I mean. I've got a little example for us. Okay, so this is my sketch. Forgive me because my sketching skills are much less polished than my weaving skills are. So here is my example for us. Say you want to make a pocket. Okay, and you know, like in the back of your blue jeans, right? A pocket has 3 closed sides and 1 open side, right? Okay. So my sketch, I did it as if I was looking down at the fabric here on my loom. So we're weaving along. This is the top layer on the top, right? And at this point, I switch. So the top layer becomes the bottom, just like that. So I make myself a little seam where it intersects, right? So now I've got the bottom is on the top. That sounds very convoluted, doesn't it? But you know what I mean. So I've switched my layers here. So I have a seam here. And as I'm going in the scenario, I'm going to keep one side of the fabric open and I'm going to close the other side. And when I'm ready, I'm going to switch again back to the original way it was. So all is right with the world. The top layers are back on top. And it gives me, look at this, a little pocket. Just like that. How crazy is that? And that's just the start, my friends. There's so many things that you can do with all the different elements in double weave because you can control the edges and you can control the seams as the layers cross each other. You have all kinds of construction things that you can play with. Keeping it open on both sides, closed on one side, both sides. It's really a lot of fun. Now, I say all that not to confuse you because it can get very, very confusing, but just to give you a little glimpse into what you can do with double weave because there's a lot that you can do with double weave. And if you haven't tried some of these little techniques yet to play with color and to play with construction, hopefully this will give you a little nudge to give it a go, because there's so much that you can do. My little pocket was just one crazy little example. There's a lot. Trust me on this. I'm hoping that I've enticed you just to give it a go. Make it easy on yourself. Pick 2 different colors for your layers so you can see which way is up, and just give it a go. Kick it around, see if you like it. All right, friends. Hope you have a wonderful week, and happy weaving.